Hey, this is Amy with Flower Moxie, and I'm going to show you how to make a simple bridesmaid bouquet. You've probably seen the video of me using the same flowers to make a bridal bouquet. A lot of it will be the same, but we'll be stacking the flowers to get the most out of it, definitely making a front and a back. So what's really nice is when you have multiples to do, don't think of it as creating twins. Just think about making sisters, so they don't have to look identical. So that will take the pressure off. Yeah, it's probably about 5 to 7 roses. It really just depends on how big you want to make it. So we're just going to lay one flower over the other, kind of doing that spiral method. And I am really intentional about making it very one-sided, because if you think brides lay down their bouquets all night, bridesmaids are worse. You might round it out a little bit if you're wanting them to repurpose it, but honestly, repurposing bridesmaid bouquets in practice, in theory, great idea. In practice, it doesn't really work because they forget and they leave it in the bridal suite. They just don't care, which is fine, but you know, maybe like on this, if you're doing a head table, give them a little vase to pop it in, but you probably won't be extremely pleased with the outcome. So see how I'm making this very one-sided, and we've only got 4 big flowers and 2 little Lisianthus. And so I hold it pretty tightly, and I'm gonna come in with the next stacked layer. And this is just a great way to get a lot of show for these flowers. If I were to create it 360 in a ball, it would look very small. So if you're DIYing, this is great because you can maximize your flowers, maximize your budget. And I typically will leave one flower out of the bridesmaid than I put in the bridal, because I want hers to be a little bit special. So I'm doing spiral, but cheating a little bit. So it's not going to be the perfect spiral, and that's okay. We learn the rules so we can break them a little bit, right? So I'm looking to see if I have good color disbursement. This is where I'd have a mirror to like look at it. I can kind of see it in the monitor, but I really have to look at my bouquets in the mirror to see how it looks when they're being held against the body. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so for a large bridal bouquet, I would say 15 stems would be definitely sufficient. You know, we're probably gonna do around 12. Having some nice greenery helps break it up a little bit. This is some Silver Queen Pittosporum, also known as crinkle pit. It's kind of expensive. It's more expensive than other greenery. It's definitely more delicate. It kind of likes to shed and be temperamental, but I like it a lot for when I'm just doing soft, light touches of greenery. Another option would be Israeli ruscus, something like that. Okay, something annoying. I have 2 Ranunculus, like one right in front of the other. So I already know I don't like that, so I'm gonna pull this guy out and place him off to the side. Those are the things that I look for. I don't want like really hardcore symmetry. This one had to be wired, so that wire is getting a little hung up. Okay, that's better. I'm gonna pull up these Lisianthus, and then I just make adjustments. I've got a good amount of flowers in here. And I'm going to pull up the more expensive ones, the more showstoppers like the Ranunculus, like these like garden roses. So I think that we're in a good place. When I hand them off to the bridesmaids, I always say, think belly button level. Think about setting your, your arms on your hips. because they will have a tendency to want to clutch it up higher, which feels natural, but it looks weird. So I always, like when they're walking out, I'm like, belly button level. That's how it's gonna look nice. Okay, at this point, we're gonna go ahead and call this done. I say that and I add 3 more flowers. I only know when to stop, like when I run out of time, to be quite honest. Okay, let my little dancers float up. And so when you have the stems in a safe place, you notice that I spend more time pushing things up, pushing things down, rather than adding flowers, because I'm maximizing how this bouquet looks with the placement of my flowers. Okay, this is a nice little bridesmaid bouquet. If I were to look in the mirror, I'd probably make adjustments on it. So I'm not gonna cut these super short because we're gonna use this for a different tutorial. But you would cut this off all the same length. And I think wrapping it with a rubber band works just fine. It's where you hook a really strong stem like this rose. Okay, why do my hands not want to work? Okay, let's try again. We're gonna hook this strong rose stem, go up to the top to the binding point. We're gonna wrap it around a few times, hook the same stem. And we're done. At this point, I wouldn't put ribbon on it until I got to the venue. Reason why is it's gonna slosh around and get your ribbon wet, and if it's like a satin or a silk, then it's gonna be ruined. So cut these, put it in a hydration vase, something about mason jar size, or this is really nice, and use your flower boxes to cut X's in, stick the vase down in that cardboard X box, and that's how you transport them. When you get there, I would just wrap some ribbon around it, tie it or pin it, give it a fresh cut again, and I would cut it a little bit shorter, and there you go. It's not extremely hard to build a bridesmaid bouquet. You don't have to overthink it. If you're DIYing your wedding flowers, I would suggest, if you have a lot of them and you're gonna get help, I would say make a mock-up. So make one like this before your helpers get there. That way they have something to go off of. Give them the recipe, and just know that each one of them is going to look a little bit different, and that's not going to look bad in your pictures. It's impossible to make fresh flowers all look the exact same. If you want them to look the exact same, then we get fake flowers. So if you want to see more of my tutorials, we have a DIY Academy Masterclass where I have exclusive tutorials that aren't on our YouTube channel. And we have a deeply discounted for our customers. So you can purchase your wedding flowers through Flower Moxie. We have a lot of support, excellent customer service. We're very committed to helping you succeed with your wedding flowers. So if you have any questions, any requests, leave them in the comments below. I always love to hear them and see them, and I try to, like if someone's asking for something, I try to keep that in mind the next time I come in and do tutorials. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.